right when I was like, this book kind of blows, there was a twist. And that
Mm.
twist grabbed me by my toes and it yanked me upside down. And I was like, whoa, whoa, hold on, hold the phone.
Hi, Karla.
Hi,
Welcome to What Have You Been Reading? Do you want
my
to tell
name is,
people
oh,
what we talk about? Yeah, I guess you should introduce yourself.
I was going to say, my name is Karla, your name is Alex. Yeah, so this is a podcast where we talk about books and all of the thoughts that those books cause in our brains.
Yeah, so many thoughts. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, angry thoughts, happy thoughts.
We go through it all.
And cinnamon rolls.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So we
Yeah.
were texting about the cinnamon rolls, and I told you that we had been mistaken and even going down the cinnamon roll path. We needed to be focusing on the raisin roll, and you are
I
not a raisin roll person,
am not.
but they're so delicious.
I've never had one, so maybe I am.
I mean, I really don't understand what it is that people have against raisins because I agree that raisins by themselves kind of gross, not
Yeah,
great. But I've always enjoyed an almond raisin cookie much
almond
more.
raisin cookie.
Yeah. Wait, did I say almond? I meant oatmeal.
Okay, I heard almond.
I said almond, but I meant oatmeal. I
I was
love
like, that's
an
interesting. I've never heard of an almond raisin cookie.
because people don't make it.
I was like, this must be like a whole nother genre of cookies that I just don't even know about.
No. So I met an oatmeal raisin cookie, and I like those so much more than chocolate chip cookies.
No.
Oh, for sure. If it's a good
Have I given
oatmeal raisin
have I
cookie,
made my chocolate chip cookies for you? They're not to pat myself on the back, but they're really good.
are they?
I guess I'll have to make them for you so you can try them and see if they're
Are
better than.
they soft?
Yes.
Ooh, soft cookies. Yum, yum.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Oh, I
like
love a soft cookie so
I
much.
take a I take them out of the oven before they're like done so that they're not super.
Wait.
They've got like the crunchy golden bottom with
Okay.
an ooey gooey middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. However, they are fully baked, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been making them since 2020 and no one has gotten the constant shits, so I think they're fine.
Okay. I require all my food to be fully baked.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Did I
baked.
say all my thing? All my thing? All my
All
thing.
my
I
cookie,
require all my thing.
all my things.
But yeah, I like an oatmeal raisin cookie more than a chocolate chip, which, okay, I understand. Maybe your chocolate chip has not been tasted, and maybe you'll come by and you will just blow those oatmeal raisin cookies
I hope
out of the
so.
water. But I have never understood why people don't like the raisin, and it makes a good contribution to society.
Okay. And they're good for you, right? And they're a good source of something, right?
Are they good for you?
I think they're a healthy snack. Isn't it a fruit? Is
It's
it?
a dried grape, yeah, but I
Yeah.
think I'm pretty sure that they add a crap ton of sugar to it. No?
I have
I'm
no
not.
idea.
The point is, a raisin roll is where it's at. I had a pretty decent one, and it was a day old. No, it was 2 days old because like I bought it and then I put it in the free. What's happening today?
Uh-huh.
I put it in the fridge and I forgot about it and then I ate it and I was like, whoa, hold the
Yeah.
phone. Let me text Alex. Did I text you? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So I got an email recently. I subscribed to like a million different like blogs and random things that I just need to slowly unsubscribe from. But one of them was like a mommy blog, and it was like the best cinnamon roll recipe ever.
Yeah.
I need to try it. I'm like super curious to try it. But anyhow, Man, I really
Yeah,
want to talk about another tangential thing, but I feel like our time is so limited that maybe we should get on to business.
it's true. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Oh, do we want to announce our announcement?
Oh, snap a doodle. Okay, yes. Okay, you
You
guys,
guys,
hold on to your butts. We have been doing this for a year, y'all.
in a year of what have you been reading?
Yeah, that's like we stuck to it.
We stuck to it through, through thick and thin, through, the five to
Ice
10 listeners. We
flurries.
love you guys so much for sticking with us for a year.
Yeah, we walked through miles of snow, uphill to get to each
Uh-huh.
other, and we combated blizzards. I don't know why it's snow related, but we combated blizzards in order to record.
Well, I mean, we don't have any kind of weather that we can compare to would be that challenging. I think snow is the toughest one. Or
Yeah.
like heavy gusts of wind, maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We've had some gnarly wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to celebrate our 1 year anniversary, we're going to give away one of our t-shirts, which I
Yeah.
think we posted before, but we'll post some pictures of it on Instagram. So make sure you're following us over at What Have You Been Reading on Instagram, and we'll post the official instructions there. But I think what we're going to do is just share whatever your favorite post is from ours from the last year. Share that to your stories and tag us, and that'll be your official entry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is definitely a picture of the shirt. You took a picture of yourself, but I think it was just the front. So, yeah, cute.
Yeah, we gotta mark at the back because that's where it's at.
Yeah, it's a cute shirt. I like the shirt. I wear it all the time.
I wear mine all the time. I really like it.
Hmm.
It makes me happy. Well,
It's mine's
great.
all like pulled at the collar already.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So,
Hey, Karla,
yes.
what have you been reading?
Okay. So a while back, I read, and we never got to talk about it. I read They Never Learn by Layne Fargo. And okay, so this book started off so freaking strong. Okay.
Okay.
She is a university professor, but she also, her little like hobby that she does on the side is she likes to kill guys.
Okay.
So she likes to kill guys because they've done someone wrong. So, they've done a woman wrong. So either they have done something to her sexually or they've done something to her career-wise, whatever. So she has she has killed a few people, and in the spot that she's in now, she's in a smaller town, so she has to be a little bit less murdery, which is really cramping her style.
I would
And
imagine so. I think that would
yeah,
be really hard.
yeah, poor her. And then she is trying to get this like job elsewhere. It's like oh shoot, I don't remember. It's been so long since I read this book and we haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to chat about it.
No, we've been
But
pretty behind.
yeah, basically she's trying to get hired and go to London so that, London's a bigger place. She can kill more freely. She's super stoked about it. And then it tells you about these other characters, and there are these two girl students, and it gets a little bit boring there because like me specifically, I was not interested in their storyline whatsoever. You've
At
got this
all.
like, no, not at all. You've got this girl who's like super duper outgoing, and she's roommates with someone who is very introverted, and it's the classic opposites, right? And
Okay.
hmm?
Okay.
Oh, okay. And
Yep.
they're roommates, and then it gets bi curious, and I was like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't. And then I
Just
was
because
like,
it was so boring?
they were it was too um heavy-handed. And
Okay.
then I felt like there were no scenes of anything like that where you would have to think, oh, this is a spicy book. It wasn't. But it just seems like okay, I get it. You're curious about your sexuality. Cool. I felt like I was getting hit over the head with it. And you know how I don't like getting hit over the head with stuff.
Well, no one does. Yeah.
So
It's not a
then,
pretty feeling.
yeah, and then you kind of start thinking to yourself, oh, one of these girls is also like, on the path to murdership, right?
Yeah.
And then, right when I was like, this book kind of blows, there was a twist. And
Mm.
that twist grabbed me by my toes and it yanked me upside down. And I was like, whoa, whoa, hold on, hold the phone. So I ended up liking the twist. The twist was good. And I was
Okay.
like, look at this damn pretzel. So I enjoyed that. However, it brought me to this. Once you know the serial killer's reason for this, and how her one of her revenges is not revenges, one of her kills is for revenge.
Okay.
That's when a serial killer loses me. And I've told you this before, or maybe I've only typed this in our notes, but I feel like a serial killer has to have pure, in quotes, motives, right? Like,
Like Dexter.
yeah, like you have to, I don't know, for a serial killer to work in my mind, it has to be like a justified serial killer, you know?
Sure. Yeah. Like you
I
only kill
wouldn't,
bad people.
yeah, that would be cool. And she does kill bad guys, but the fact
But
that,
she lets the revenge sneak in.
yeah, see, that's where you lose me. Again,
Sure.
you have to be pure in your murderous ways.
Yeah.
You just
I mean,
gotta.
that makes total sense.
I'm so glad you agree. So anyway, the book kind of lost me in the middle there, but the twist really saved it. It has an ending that I was like, what are you gonna do? And yeah, I would give it like I would say like a 7.8. Yeah,
Wow.
it was all
On a
right.
on a 10 scale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I give it 7.8 knives.
I love it. Serial murder knives.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I give it 7.8 bloody knives.
I love
So,
it.
yeah. Alex, tell me, what have you been reading?
So I'm gonna go way, way back as well, and talk a little bit about the Strawberry Patch Pancake House.
You did it. You read it.
I did it. I did it. You know, now I'm into the Dream Harbor thing. I can't undream Harbor myself, which is the setting for all of these cutesy little books that are also very spicy. They do have the spice. So they're not clean, clean romance books. But
I've
this is
seen I've seen the covers of the books that you read, and they look so tame.
yes, they're deceiving. Some of them.
Look at those poppers.
Not done and dusted though. That one's clear, I think, from the cover. The
I don't
cowboy
remember what the
one.
cover looks like, but
It's just like a cowboy and a cowgirl like kissing, but it kind of gives a little implication,
okay.
I think. But this is the same author. So Lori Gilmore, she's the author of like the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Um, there was like the Christmas Tree Farm one. There's another one. I think this is her fourth one. Oh, the
Okay.
Pumpkin Spice Cafe was her first one, which went viral on TikTok. And
Oh
she's
yeah, I remember that you were concerned that she was going to just, kind of like start producing just books to produce
He
books.
does have another one slated to come out later this year already. Like
Wow.
books in a year. Which
Wow.
again, kudos to her.
Yeah.
They're still working for me. I just
I
worry
wonder if
that
it's going to be like a juice location now, because every small town needs like a juice it up.
she announced it. I forget what the title is. But I think it's like another bakery. I'm like, how many bakeries are there in a small town?
Mm. It's got
You
to be
know?
juice. It's got to be juice and I don't know, something about let's squeeze these melons.
Um,
No, no, not melons. Something with cantaloupes.
with cantaloupes.
Grapefruits. I don't know, whatever. Go ahead.
Anyhow, um, but yeah, this one follows. It is Archer is the male protagonist, and Iris is the female protagonist. And the gingerbread bakery. That's what it is.
Okay.
A bakery. Maybe we haven't done a bakery yet. But so this one, which is Strawberry Patch Pancake House, follows Iris, who made an appearance, obviously, in one of the previous novels. So they're like interrelated characters. And then this is the opening, so it's not a spoiler, but Archer came into town because he found out he has a daughter that lives in the town, and the mom died. He never knew about the daughter. He was living in France, living his like best chef life, being a top chef. Yes, Karla, you have a question.
That reminds me of Gilmore Girls when Luke finds out that April exists and we all
Yes.
hated April and we were like, how come this child comes in and ruins freaking Luke and Lorelai's
Lorelai.
relationship that we all had been like wanting to happen? Because like you and
The
I don't
author's
know,
last name is Gilmore. You think it's a coincidence? I don't think so.
girl.
I think of Gilmore Girls every time I see her name, Lori
Mm,
Gilmore.
mm.
And Lorelai Gilmore? Maybe.
Hmm.
Oh my God, now it's
Maybe
all
that
coming
if
together.
that's even your real name.
So the girl's mom passes away in like a tragic accident, and then they reach out to him and tell him, "Hey, by the way, you have a daughter who now needs a parent, guardian." So he leaves his famous kitchen in France. Carla's shaking her head. She doesn't like how this is being set up.
I mean, that's so fucked.
I know. And I know. And then he comes into this small town and he's like super annoyed because he left, his fancy career in France, and he thinks he's just going to come and kind of pick up the girl and head back to Paris. And then obviously it's a small town and yada, yada, yada. Who's going to leave a quaint, beautiful little small town?
S'il vous plaît.
But okay, a couple things that I really loved on this one. It's about pancakes. It's called a Strawberry Patch Pancake House. So obviously it's about pancakes. Throughout the whole book, he's trying to figure out the recipe for the pancakes that the town used to have. I guess the person that used to make them before left, or I don't know what happened, but they don't have their famous pancake recipe anymore. So the whole book, he's like making pancakes late at night, trying to figure out this recipe. It turns out, and I'm not going to say what it is, but the final recipe is exactly how I make my pancakes every weekend. Except that I add smushed banana. I make banana pancakes every weekend for the boys.
Delicious. Delicious.
They're so good. But I loved that. I was like, yeah, that's how the pros make pancakes. But the premise is that
All the pros make mistakes.
he hires Iris to be a live-in nanny for the daughter because he's working at the local diner. Um, so forced proximity is your trope there. Carla's
They
shaking her
probably
head.
bump into each other in in like the hallway.
Well, in the middle of the night when he's working on that pancake recipe at 2 o'clock and she comes out in her skimpy little night
Oh my
clothes, what's
God.
going to happen? What do you think is going to happen, Karla?
I just don't know.
Yeah. There also is a funny line. It said something equivalent to men in sweatpants is the equivalent to women in lingerie. I agree. Honestly, Jeff sometimes wears sweatpants, and I'm like, yeah, that does it for me. I like that look.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Do you like the sweatpants that have the open like the hemline? Or do you
Sorry,
like the sweatpants?
I wasn't sure where you were going with the open. What kind of opening?
The open hemline, Alex, you perv. Um
An open hemline. What does that
or
mean?
or do you like the sweatpants that have the elastic hemline where it like cinches around the ankle to give the male that
Hmm.
ankle look?
Maybe that. I do think. tighter-ish.
So you
I
can see the
haven't delved
ankle.
into the specifics of what I like, but
So you can see the little ankle triangle bone on the bottom there and be like, wow.
I think pretty soon Jeff is only going to be wearing sweatpants. And
I
then
love
there
that
was a lot
triangle.
on parenthood on this one, which she hasn't included in her previous ones because all the previous characters were single. So this is the first time that they have someone that's dealing with having a child. And one of
Oh, I
the
like
lines
that.
is, yeah,
That's nice.
as a parent, it's very like there's a lot of stuff that was relatable to me, which I like. But it said parenthood, man, what a mind fuck. I'm like, yeah, it is. There's like the highs and the lows and like everything in between.
Yeah.
And then that you'll always question if you're doing the right thing as a parent. And then someone replied to her, that's just part of the job. Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, hot dad and a chef. That was one of my notes.
Okay.
All the prior characters make an appearance, which is cute. Um, so yeah, that was a Strawberry Patch Pancake House. I really enjoyed it. I
Cute.
got to read this as an ARC, but it was published on March 18th. That's how long it's been since I've read this and been needing to talk about it.
We really have overextended ourselves in terms of like the amounts that we're reading.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I told you, I just stopped reading.
See, I have not. So let's move on. Karla, what else have you been reading?
So, I read My Kind of Trouble by L.A. Schwartz, and I
Schwartz.
think I think that that might be the last book that I try in terms of romance.
Okay,
I I appreciated it for what it was. It was cute, but it's definitely not my genre. I feel like I gave it a really good try.
you
And
did.
yeah. So this one, like I said, it was cute. The main character, I wasn't sure. She was not thin. I know that. She was either mid or plus size.
Okay.
Um, and then the male character was autistic. And so basically, the male character is a librarian who is trying to give the small town programs through the library where people that might feel marginalized feel included and feel like they have somewhere to go.
Save your
Like,
libraries.
please, I mean, that actually is very important. Please get a library card and get a library card, use the library. It is very important, especially in these days. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So the guy wants to provide these like outreach programs because of his autism, and then he takes care of his little sister who also has some stuff going on. She doesn't like to talk to people. She gets kind of freaked out by people, and she also has, the need for these kinds of programs where she can meet people that are like-minded.
Okay.
And there's, the main villain. His wife is trying to take down these programs and probably get him fired. And so in comes, our female main character, who's a con woman,
Ooh. Well,
and she is coming for the villain guy, right?
yeah.
So, she's coming for the villain guy. She needs the librarian's land. He like has like land that she wants to use to like rope the villain into her con. So that's how they meet. And then, yeah, it was fine. It was a
That's
fine
fine.
book.
Yeah.
I do enjoy a woman con artist. I like anything that's a little bit not nice. So the fact that
I
she's
am shocked.
I know. So I enjoyed that she's a con woman. And then there is a cute, not a cute, no wait. There is a good scene where
Yeah.
they're making out in the library stacks. Who doesn't
Ooh.
like that?
Who doesn't like that?
You're not
Yes.
supposed to make out in the library.
But when you do, you should
It's
write a book about it.
we Alex, I'm telling you, I've been telling you so often we need to write a book.
Yes.
So, anywho, that's my kind of trouble, and it was a pretty cute story. I
I'm really
wrote,
proud of you for trying really hard.
thank you. Oh my God,
Yeah.
thanks. I wrote Con Woman with a Heart of Gold.
Cute.
Love it. Tell me though, what else have you read?
Okay, so my second pick for this episode is Bad Publicity by Bianca Gillam, Gillam. This is another advanced reader copy that I got, and it publishes on May 20th, so it's coming up. This one was cute. So it follows um, Andy, who's the female main character. She's from England. She moves to New York City to pursue a career in publishing. So, I mean, obviously, books and publishing, love it. And then she gets assigned an author who happens to be someone that she had a thing with like 5 years ago, and she hates his guts.
Because there was a misunderstanding.
Because there was a gigantic, huge, blown out of proportion misunderstanding, of
Oh my God,
course.
and you love misunderstandings.
I don't. I hate them. They're like my least favorite trope.
I know it was sarcasm.
I know. Okay. I was like, no, I don't. She used the word uncommonly tall man. I find
Okay.
that annoying. The men always have to be super tall.
We've talked about this.
I
Bring down the
know.
patriarchy that
It
makes men think
bothers
they have
me.
to be ridiculously tall. We're
Yes.
not trying to date trees.
So that was annoying. But it's cute. So she has to follow, she gets assigned this guy as her author, and oh, by the way, you have to go with him on this book tour that he's doing. And that was fun, right? We follow them to like Germany and England and somewhere else and somewhere else. So you get to kind of see these little snippets of places, which was fun. And it's all
Yo,
in bookstores. So they talk about comfy reading nooks in bookstores. Love
yo,
it.
is
Yeah.
book writing when you're not that big of a book writer of an author, like, is it that lucrative that it'll take you to all those places? Because if so, then we do need to get cracking on a book together.
Well, I do think that based off like stories that I've read, I think there's a difference between being a major bookseller, a major author, probably like Rebecca Yarros or something, right? That you get paid to go to all of these places and stay in really great places, or being a really small author and you're staying at like a shitty hotel and going to like some random little bookstore for a signing. But
Huh.
I would take it.
I want my hotel to not have bed bugs.
Yeah. So we just need to be good authors.
Okay.
We just need to be really good.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, but yeah, so right off the bat, she's talking about like how much she hates this guy and she hasn't seen him in 5 years. And I'm like, if you're still holding on to that kind of anger after 5 years, I don't know. That's a lot,
No,
right?
you're wrong. People can
Am I
suck a
wrong?
dick for forever.
Okay. Maybe it's just me. Oh, the opening line was fuck. I loved that. I thought that was such a great opening line. Okay, so miscommunication, obviously, I don't really like it. There was a lot of grief and trauma that Andy, the main character, was working through. And then between that and her hating the guy, it made for, I think, a very unprofessional book tour,
Oh, okay.
which I had a problem with. Like, if you're saying, yes, I'm going to go, I'm going to do this job, I'm
Yeah.
going to set aside my personal stuff, but then at every turn, she's like making life really hard for him because of how she feels. That bothered
Oh, no, I don't like that. I don't agree with that. You can be professional and also hateful at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think also because she knew him and had history with him, maybe she allowed herself to be a little bit more vulnerable in her like grief and trauma. He was like always having to comfort her, which I think in a professional setting that wouldn't normally happen. But obviously, given their history, maybe she was a little bit more raw and exposed. But cute bookstores, cozy reading corners, and it all kept building up to this thing, right, that happened 5 years ago. And the thing that ended up happening, I mean, it was bad and traumatic for her, but I don't know, there was like the big miscommunication point and it was just a little disappointing, I think.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there were parts of it that I really liked, right? Like the traveling and the bookstores and the publishing. Like I really liked the main male character. There was even a part at the end where he kind of put his foot down on something, and I was like, yeah, you tell her. I thought that was really good.
Okay.
Um, but she wasn't my favorite character.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, but I thought it was cute for like an easy read. So that was Bad Publicity,
Okay.
Bianca Gillam. Do you want to squeeze in your last book?
Yeah, I read The Maid's Diary by Loreth Ann White. And like surprise, surprise, it follows a maid. Her name is Kit,
Okay.
and she goes into a new house that she's gonna clean, and holy cow, it's the
Yeah.
house of a dude who she knows. So
Mm,
that's when we find out that everybody in this book has secrets. Kit has a secret. The dude has a secret. He's an Olympic skier. The wife has a secret. She's like the daughter of like these really rich people, like real estate developers and stuff.
yeah.
So she goes in and she is completely floored by the painting of this Olympic skier dude. And she's like, holy shit, it's this motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And then we follow her. Um like writing in a diary of like her telling herself that she's gonna back out of the job and then obviously not doing it. And then there's a murder most foul. Oh,
Oh no.
actually, the murder most foul. So somebody gets the first chapter is someone getting dumped in water while they're rolled up in a rug
Oh,
and they're
okay.
still alive. So obviously they're gonna like die in the water, right? And
Yeah.
so yeah, that's how it starts. And you're like, whoa, this is gonna be crazy, right? But then that kind of goes away, and then we start following this maid. So that was like, where did this rug come from? So that's my point that I'm getting to.
Okay.
I would have liked for the book to be a little bit inverted in the way that it was written. I would have liked to be in on it a little bit more instead of trying to piece it together. Like, I don't want to be the
Interesting.
detective. I don't want to be the detective. I want to come along with you. I want to hold your hand while you tell me this fucked up story. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So,
Sure.
yeah, I liked the book. Everybody has secrets and it's crazy. Oh, the wife is such a bitch.
Yeah.
The guy, just jail. 100% go to jail.
Yeah.
Get get into the
Get
cell.
in there. Get in those bars.
Get in there, motherfucker. And then yeah, that's what I got.
Cool. Fantastic.
Recommend it.
Um, Let me see if I can end real quickly on my last one, which was What Will People Think?
Okay.
And this is also an ARC, and I don't have the author's name on me right now, but I'll make it real quick. It follows a Palestinian American woman in New York City whose father died when the towers fell on 9/11.
Okay.
It was interesting to see a book around that time frame. I feel like it's not something that I have read a lot about. Um, but a lot of like cultural identity and, dealing with the stigma of being Palestinian after 9/11, I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
And she's dealing with this dichotomy of like her professional life, but also being secretly a stand-up comedian that she's trying to pursue, like being a stand-up comedian, and she's making like jokes about sexuality and her culture and stuff. Yes, ma'am.
Is it a funny book? A little bit? Do we get
It's a
jokes?
Yeah, it's a little bit funny and there's
Okay.
jokes in there. Yeah, I thought it was cute. And there's some romance. She has like a love interest at work. That was really cute. So I enjoyed it. It takes place, the setting is around Columbia University, so there's a lot of references to the university if anyone's a big Columbia fan. But then what I wanted to really mention here is that it talks about eyeballs
No, Alex.
I know her friend says, "Do you know how sexy it is for someone to lick your eyeball?"
Oh, this is what you texted me about.
And then later on, she says, "I made plans with Kevin, the eyeball licker." And then the main character goes, "Maybe there's a story there, like deviant sexual preferences of millennials."
Okay, can the listeners please chime in on this?
Is this
Because
a thing? Is it a thing now?
if it's a millennial thing, supposedly, then it's not a thing now. It's something that we would have known about because we're millennials. We should
But
have
we're
been
at the
like,
cusp. We're like at the,
yeah, we're old millennials. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
maybe it's like a younger millennials thing. But I thought that was really funny to see that in a book after you've talked about it.
I
But
feel like
that one,
you've talked about it more.
what's that?
I feel like you've talked about it more. I want to forget it exists. But now I want to know from listeners if this is a thing. If this is a thing, you can tell us about it. Let us know that it's your neighbor. You don't have to tell us your private stuff if you don't want to.
Slide into the DMs and let us know. We don't have
Oh,
to say
yeah, it doesn't have to be
name.
public. Please tell us.
Yeah, yeah.
What
But yeah, that
sensation
was
does it cause?
it was a cute. What does it feel like?
I mean,
I don't think
shit.
I can't even do eye drops in my eye. Like
I can't either.
I
Like,
can't
I would
imagine letting someone put their
no. That
tongue on
also
my eye.
the bacteria of it all. I refuse to put contacts in. Like, I've never put a contact into my eyeball because it's like such a gross, like it's gross one to think about like the squishiness of the eyeball and then also the possibility of puncturing it or like
Yeah.
slicing it by mistake. Just no.
Yeah. But anyhow, it was a cute book. I liked it. So that was What Will People Think?
Okay.
I thought that one was good. Yeah. So anyhow, as far as a quick look-see at to what I'm reading, I am now 4 books deep into the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas.
Oh, dang. Okay.
I had a road trip to Arizona and a flight to Arizona, so I got a lot of reading time in this month. So I got to really get through the first three, three
Yeah.
books. That's great.
Um, is it good? Should I do it? I don't want to. Should I do it?
I'm
I
liking it
don't.
more. I'm liking it more than Akatar, but
Why?
I don't
Why
know.
do you
We're
like it
less
more?
we're gonna get cut off soon, so maybe I'll save it for the next episode.
Okay, I'm reading, I'm trying to restart Human Sacrifices. Remember that I told you that it was really good, the first 3 stories that I read.
Yeah, we've got
I,
like
I
30 seconds.
I continue thinking that it's good. Thank you for listening, guys. We love listening to your book reads also, so please let us know what you've been reading. My name is Karla.
And I'm Alex. Happy reading, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.